Hey, what's up everyone? It's me, Jose Carlos, aka the Orchid Geek, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the 4th annual International Huntington Orchid Show and Sale that occurred during the weekend of October 18th, and it was extremely fun. And here I am going to be showing you the first level of the displays. I'm going to be showing you a few of them. Here is the one that was designed by Phyllis Prestia and myself for Sunset Valley Orchids, and we were extremely proud of this display. We got to set it up with the help of Troy Crawford, and here's the backside of it. We got to include some dendrobiums, prostechias, cycnoches, rhinantheras, and of course cattleyas. So here you can see this beautiful red cattleya that got an award. And we're also very proud because we got, for the 3rd consecutive year, the best commercial display for any grower. So it was extremely exciting and we were very proud of that. Up next is Andy's Orchids display, and I was simply mesmerized by all the different amounts of orchids that they had. They had all of these tiny miniature orchids inside of a terrarium. Here you can see all of the names, each with a different number, and all of these names and numbers belong to an orchid inside of this terrarium. They are all in bloom. You can see some bulbophyllums in there. You can also see some dendrobiums, and it's really stunning. I was simply blown away. You really just have to kind of take a step back and take it all in and appreciate this wonderful educational presentation, because it really does appear as if they were growing in the wild on branches. Moving over to the left, you are going to witness many ribbons on the Orchid Society of Southern California's display at this year's show. Right here is a beautiful array of paphiopedilums that are very well put together. They had a different variation of orchids. They had vandas. They also had miltonias. Now check out this Miltonia bluntii hybrid. And it had such a waxy texture. The plant itself was so massive and so well grown. It definitely deserved those 2 ribbons that it was awarded, and it was ultimately a 360 display of flowers. It was a true showstopper. Here is Cal Orchid's display, and I'm very excited to announce that they actually won the best orchid in the show. Now before I show you it, here is the Halbangariana, which is a new species that was discovered recently in 2014. But here is the orchid that won the award. This display, adorned with all of the blue ribbons, belonged to Norman's Orchids, and it's very clear to see why it got all of these blue ribbons, because all of the Phalaenopsis are very well grown and they're very well displayed as well. Now one of my favorite ones is this Phalaenopsis Bigfoot stripes. I simply love the captivating veining on the petals and sepals. But everyone, the orchids were not the only works of art present at the Huntington. Now, I would like to virtually invite everyone into the Sunset Valley Orchids booth for the 2018 Huntington Orchid Show. On the right, you will notice that there is a graded wall where we put all of our blooming and budded catasetums, and here is a beautiful fragrant cycnoches hybrid. Towards the center, we had all of our stunning divisions of our breeding plants that were original and unique. Now in the front, we had all of our new 2018 seedlings that were blooming for the first time at the young age of 3.5 years old, which is simply mind-boggling to me every single year. Now towards the back, of course, we had the beautiful cymbidiums that are so hardy, especially out here in Southern California. Moving along to Andy's Orchids booth, you will notice that he has a lot of his orchids mounted, and it is simply a wonderland to go walk and go through all of these little mazes where every single where you turn there's an orchid present. So it is simply stunning. It is always one of my favorite places to go visit because I always like to at least get lost in there for a little bit when I do have time. Now one of my favorite orchids that I saw while I was in there was a miniature orchid very similar to this one that I'm showing you. It was not quite as leafy, but here's the flower. It was very light and it was simply stunning. It was called Poroglossum sergii. Some of you guys might be familiar with the international vendor Wilson's Orchids, and he was here at this year's shows. He had a different selection of Cattleya walkerianas as well as oncidiums and some phalaenopsis as well. So it was very exciting selections. And in this corner right here, I found a beautiful floriferous Dendrobium hibiki that was being sold at Norman's Orchids. Now, of course, there are going to be some stunning Phalaenopsis species as well as Phalaenopsis hybrids here in the back with a few Cattleyas towards that right corner. But one of my favorite Phalaenopsis that he had available for sale, that it breaks my heart so much that I was not able to get the name, is this beautiful deep burgundy one. It was so beautifully arranged and I fell in love with it, and I'm certainly going to have to ask him the next time I see him. And that is going to conclude my video for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this close glimpse inside the 4th annual International Huntington Botanical Gardens Orchid Show and Sale. It was extremely fun, and I hope that you guys got to feel that fun as well with me. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to give a thumbs up as well as comment, because I always enjoy reading your guys' comments, and I can't wait to catch you guys on my next video. But until then, peace.